What I want to talk about this afternoon, this Friday afternoon, is about dropping the hustle and stepping into aligned action. Why is this important? For a few different reasons. I have been coaching people for the last 5+ years. And when I started coaching, I was very much helping people with stress management and, overcoming burnout, these types of things, because that was my own personal experience. I had a lot of burnout, panic attacks, stress, anxiety, all of these types of things, and I had them for many years. And I went on my own personal journey to really kind of heal myself, but also unravel the patterns of behavior and the beliefs that were behind all of that that kept me in this kind of perpetual cycle of getting sick. And so what was really behind this was this hustling and this pushing in the attempt to really feel a greater sense of self-worth, to feel more successful, and to feel more appreciated and accepted. Now, these things were not necessarily conscious. I wasn't necessarily aware of them, but they were driving the behavior. And the thing is that a lot of us have this within us because we have been conditioned into believing that in order to be successful, in order to have that happy life, we need to push, we need to strive, we need to make it happen. And that puts incredible pressure and stress on our bodies, our minds. It creates emotional responses as well. And it can have us on this perpetual hamster wheel cycle of just wanting the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And then there comes a point when either we get sick or suddenly we realize, actually, what am I even doing all of this for? This wasn't my dream. I know that was the point that I got to. And so the opposite of that is aligned action. So it's not, and I think this is a really important point. It's not aligned action, or the opposite of pushing and striving doesn't mean you're sitting back in a deck chair just waiting for everything to be gifted to you. It's not that. As much as that is also important in life, right? But it's not there's one or the other. It's not black or white like that. But what aligned action is that we're still taking the action, but we're taking it from the perspective of being aligned with who we are. So it's knowing who we are from the inside. So, what are our values? What is our vision? What's our intention? Where is it that we're wanting to go, and why? And then how are we going to be as we are doing it? This is so, so crucial, both in our work, in our careers, and also when we are starting a new business. Because if we don't unravel these pieces, then even when we do have the successes, we may be exhausted, or we may find that we're chasing after something that actually isn't what we truly want. It's so, 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 so important. Okay, so I'm going to go into a little bit of this, but I'm not going to spend too much time there because it is actually a really big kind of topic. But if you do want to delve further, I'll give you some options at the end of this video to take it further. So the hustle and the push and the striving, that comes from toxic masculine energy. It's part of the patriarchy. It's what we've been taught. It really works from an economic standpoint because it has us running around like headless chickens. But it doesn't work for us as human beings. It doesn't work for us in terms of our sense of happiness and fulfillment. And it doesn't work for us for health, for those two different reasons, right? And there is another way. And this is this more aligned way. It's more of a magnetizing pull energy rather than a push and making it happen energy. And this is this beautiful combination between the healthy feminine and the healthy masculine. What does that look like? Okay, so aspects of the healthy feminine is things like, compassion and empathy and rest and trust, intuition, creativity, inspiration. These types of things. So it's a more kind of gentler type of energy, but it's so, so, so powerful and so, so needed to function as healthy human beings. The other aspect of this, and by the way, this is for both men and women, it's not, male or female, we have both aspects of self within us. The other aspect of this is the healthy masculine, and this is some key areas of this is like structure, systems, stability and safety, and intention, purpose, and vision. So it's kind of knowing where we're heading so that we're less likely to be distracted along the way and drift and find ourselves going down different paths, but more we're coming from this place of knowing what it is that we're heading and knowing why. And knowing what why, and we mix that in with the healthy feminine, this heart-based why. And that's where the consciousness comes from. And that's where we create from a more conscious perspective rather than just doing what we've been doing all our lives. Okay, so the way or the how in terms of doing this. Now, this is the journey, right? This is the journey of starting to unravel the belief systems, then the behaviors, and then starting to change the beliefs, and then starting to change the behaviors to change then how we feel, and then what the external, what our day-to-day looks like, the actions that we're then taking, right? But a couple of things to kind of gift to you right here and now for the short time that we've got is asking yourself, what is my belief around work or around my business? Do I believe that I have to push harder? Or do I believe that there's another way? And what is your relationship to working hard? If you're not working hard, what comes up? This will start to give you a little bit more insight in terms of some of the stuff that's going on in the background. And then in terms of some like physical actions you can start to take, and particularly if you're anything like me when I was going through this process, which was I was really wound up, yeah? My nervous system was so wound up that the thought of slowing down, or the thought of, connecting to my intuition, I didn't even know what that was, or, creativity, it was just like, no, I'm not going to do any of those things. That's just a waste of time. And so my only way really of resting at that time of my life was really coming home at the end of the evening and drinking a bottle of wine, thinking that that was the way to rest or to go to the pub, right? And so when I was unraveling the thoughts and the behaviors, the beliefs, and also the actions that I was taking, I started to create more space in my day-to-day. I started to take more walks in nature. I started to implement some healthy habits and healthy routines. And then I started to work on my mind. So I had a really busy, critical mind. And then I started to change some of the ways in which I was speaking to myself. I worked on gratitude, things like this. I started to do yin yoga and vinyasa yoga to start to work with my energy and start to disperse some of the the wound up energy and really start to settle in my nervous system. Another thing is breath work that you can do. Many different things that you can actually do. But the most important thing is actually to get to the root of the belief. That's where the change really happens. Okay, so I really hope that has served you. I recommend taking some of those pieces and doing a little bit of journaling around this and choosing just one of those things that I spoke about to start to create a little bit more space, start to unwind some of that kind of more hustling, pushing types of ways of behavior. If you want to go a little bit deeper, I've got a couple of options for you. One is that every month I run a circle, a new moon lunar circle with one of my friends. She's an astrologist, amazing astrologist. And we fuse astrology with personal development, intention setting, and also yoga embodiment movement to bring all of those pieces together to help kind of grow together in alignment with co-creation. So less pushing and hustling, but actually aligning with the energy of the moon to help support us. So that's one thing that I do. The other thing that I have for you is the offering to book in a 30-minute discovery call with me. So if you are really resonating with the content that I've spoken about and you really would like to take it to the next stage, then I'm offering this time and I'll give you some tips in terms of some of the things that can guide you. And then of course, if you're wanting to go further and you're wanting to sort of unravel those pieces and then start to really make that long-term change in your life, then we can talk about what it looks like to work with me as well, one-to-one. All right, well, have a lovely weekend and I can't wait to speak to you next week.